name is Jasmine Sky, and I'm here today with the start of another vlog. Hooray! I am very, very excited. I am starting to write a new YA fantasy, and my dog is very interested. Oh my gosh, maybe I should set you down right there. Let's see. Let's see. Hi! Oh my goodness. Hi there. Hi. Are you here to help me vlog? Yes, hi. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna vlog right here. So, yes, I am writing a new YA fantasy. I finished with the revision of my Witch YA fantasy, which I have vlogged almost the entire process for on my channel, so you can check it out if you look at my writing vlogs playlist. Do you want to play? Is that what this is about? Is this a play? Oh, shoot. I'm getting French kisses from my dog. Want me to throw this? Oh, you got it! What a good boy! Okay. What were we talking about? My Witch YA fantasy. I did another massive revision on it, and then a polishing of that massive revision. So that was draft 5 and 5.5, which you can watch the vlogs of. And now we are on submission, which is scary, and I can't say anything more about that process until something happens that I can talk about. So anyway, while we're on submission with my Witch YA and waiting to hear back from editors and all of that, I am going to start working on my next YA fantasy. As you know, if you've been following me or looked around my channel, in November and December, I was working on some adult fantasy, just kind of playing around with some adult fantasy ideas because I do eventually want to write adult SFF, like a lot. That's my career goal eventually, is to publish both YA and adult SFF. But right now, I am focusing on my YA career. I was just playing around with the adult stories in November and December while I was waiting on things related to my Witch YA. But now with my Witch YA, we have taken it, my agent and I have agreed, we have taken it as far as we can take it in terms of what we can do, and we just got to see what happens on submission. So since that is the case, it is time for me to write whatever may be next in terms of my YA career, which is the first track of my career. So I am going to be writing another YA fantasy in the hopes that if my Witch YA doesn't sell, then I can get this book ready to go on submission, hopefully by the fall. And if my Witch YA does sell, then because this is another YA fantasy, it's a great option book for my potential future editor to, want to buy also. So yes, today is February 18th. It is Thursday. I talked with my agent on Monday about sort of our next steps, and writing a new YA fantasy is the next step. My deadline is the end of the month. So February 28th is my deadline with my agent to get her a complete outline of my new YA fantasy and the first chapter. Basically kind of like I'm sending a proposal of this YA fantasy to my agent to see what she thinks. She has already heard the pitch and likes it. She actually chose it out of a list of like 5 other YA stories that I pitched to her, so that's good, but now I have to expand upon that pitch that I had and actually plot out the entire novel and write the first chapter. I have the first, I think, 2 chapters of a different version of this book already written, because I tried to write this for my MFA thesis novel back in like 2018 or something like that, but then I ended up kind of getting stuck with it and going with a different novel for my MFA thesis, and that version, those like first 2 chapters or so that I wrote then were based off of a short story I wrote in like 2015 or something that was an adult fantasy short story. So this book has kind of been in the works for a while, which is to say that the magic system has been set since I wrote that short story. I really, really like my magic system. I expanded upon what I had written in the short story when I tried to write the version that I tried to write in 2018, 2019, whenever it was that I wrote those first couple chapters. So the magic system is set. It's good. I like it a lot. I'm happy with it. But everything else going on with the book that I tried to write in, I think it was 2019 actually. Spring 2019 is when I wrote the first 2 chapters of the YA version of that short story I had written. None of it was working for me. I have gone back to the drawing board with this book, and I spent like an hour talking it through with my brother a couple nights ago, and I feel like I know now how I want to write this book. So that's exciting. So what can I tell you? We're going to call this my alchemy YA. The magic system is based off of alchemy, which is exciting. And it's going to be a historical fantasy, I'm pretty sure. And it's going to be set in France. Now, I don't know the time period yet. That's actually the thing I need to figure out today. My goal for today is to do a bunch of research on historical alchemy in France and across the world, so I can create my world building like global alchemy society, and I need to figure out what time period, because alchemists kind of spanned, quite a range in the Middle Ages. Ninja. So I need to figure out what time period I want to play with in terms of my world, for this historical fantasy. If it's going to be historical fantasy, it is possible that my agent will want me to transition it into a secondary world fantasy, but I think I'd like it to be historical fantasy. That's what I'm playing with. I would really like to set at least part of the book in Paris, because I think that would be a lot of fun. So the other thing I can tell you is that it is another sapphic book. It is a female-female romance, and the girls who are, gonna fall in love are rivals. I wouldn't call it an enemies to lovers, but I would call it a rivals to lovers romance, at least as it is in my head right now. And the main plot is a murder mystery. To sum up, magical alchemy murder mystery with a sapphic rivals to lovers romance. We love it. Also, I'm planning it to be a standalone. I think, especially because it is a magical murder mystery as the plot, murder mysteries tend to fit best as standalones. If I did want to make it a series later, I would have to figure out maybe like a different related murder mystery or mystery to be had for the series. Hello again. Oh. Hey, this is not helpful. Thank you. But right now, I'm just planning on this to be a standalone. So I have 11 days to get it all outlined and figure out my world and my characters, and most importantly, figure out the mystery, because I can't outline a murder mystery if I don't know who done it or why. So I have all of that stuff to figure out. In reality, I do already know who done it and why, but I need to kind of develop the antagonist and the motivations better, and I need to develop my red herrings and all of that stuff. So that's what I'm gonna do this weekend, throughout the rest of the week, all of that stuff. And then, later next week is when I will start diving in and writing the first chapter. But today and tomorrow, my main goals are to figure out my world. Hello, it's much later and I am gonna go eat dinner, but I did a lot of research. It was quite successful. I figured out the exact year I'm gonna set it, in France and what the political situation of France was at the time. Looked up clothing, looked up music and art and literature, figured out a whole bunch of historic alchemists that I can use as references within it, and I figured out my main characters' surnames, because that's important. I think that's a good place to stop for tonight. I kind of went down a research rabbit hole, so my head's spinning a little bit, but also I want to keep going because that's what research rabbit holes do. You just kind of like spin farther and farther into the madness of research. But I'm gonna pause myself, and then tomorrow, now that I know the sort of general state of the world and of France, tomorrow I need to hone in more specifically on Paris in this time period. If I want to set it in any other places in France or in Europe, I need to figure that out and start going on from there. Hello there, everyone. It is Friday the 19th, and I definitely went down the research rabbit hole. I have an 8-page document of just notes of things that may or may not come up, including historic figures of the time, things to do with Paris, things that my characters may or may not interact with in Paris, and sort of some of the social structure of Paris. I figured out what my main character is going to be doing when the novel started, what her background is, what her goals are. Like, I figured out a lot, honestly. So pretty much all that's left in terms of my brainstorming process is to figure out the steps of the mystery. I know the antagonist. I know the reason for the murders that are going to be happening that my main character and her love interest are going to have to figure out. So that's good. And I know the first chapter for the most part. I know what I want to have happen in the first chapter. But yeah, the next, this weekend, my goal is to plot out the murder mystery. It is Saturday the 20th, and I have figured a ton of stuff out. I think I know who all my red herrings are. I know pretty much so much about this book. I just need to kind of organize it all and then put it in an outline. So that's the plan for today. But before I get to that, I wanted to show you guys something that I'm doing for this planning and what I will probably inevitably be doing for the actual drafting of this book. So I found on Amazon a map of 16th century Paris, and it's awesome, right? It shows me, exactly what's going on in this time period. So that's cool. But as you can see, I don't know what that says, right? So what I'm literally having to do is look at this map and reference actual literal maps, like the actual literal Google map of Paris, which is not easy because as you can see, they're oriented differently. So this right here is the same as this right here. So, you can see those landmarks like Notre Dame down here. So that's great. You can see the bridges, right? So that's great. And a lot of sites are similar, as to what they were in the 16th century. So I can use this, and I can use this to figure out the names of streets and things like that. But I have to kind of twist my head around because they're not oriented the same way. And I have to make sure when I'm doing this that they're not, that I'm not being anachronistic. So gotta make sure that
the city in the 16th century was actually called Rue de la Cité instead of something else. I'm gonna guess it was called this because, you know, this just, it's like City Main Street is basically what this is. But or you know, the Boulevard of the Palace. You know, you gotta do the double check-in. So yeah, this is where my research has been spiraling in terms of the minuscule details.
I'm back. I organized all my notes, so that feels really good. All the characters are in the character section, and their background stuff is organized, and I figured out my main character's best friend, which is always good. I organized my world notes, all of the various things to do with like the historical stuff, but also my world system, magic system. And yeah, everything is there. And all of my outlining notes I put into the outlining section, but I have not yet actually organized my outline, as in made my outline. But I'm kind of sleepy. So I'm gonna take a nap, I think, and come back to this later today. Good morning. It is Tuesday, the 23rd, and I didn't mean to take 2 days off, but I did. So here we are. I still have not finished my outline, but I have been thinking about the book over the last 2 days, and I've like figured stuff out. So I guess I didn't really take 2 days off. It's just part of the process of, you know, letting a book idea percolate and stuff. So I think I have enough now to try to put together this outline. I have a mystery plot beat sheet with 3 acts, and I'm gonna try to fill it in and see what's up. And then today at 12:30, I have a virtual writing session over my lunch break with one of my critique partners. It's later, it is after work, and oh my god, writing this outline is going so much slower than I predicted. I think because I've never written an outline of this amount of detail, because I'm sending this to my agent who will have no other information other than the first chapter. So I need to explain everything. Normally my story outlines are kind of chaotic, but with this, I need the outline to like include all the details, so that my agent understands what I'm going to be doing with this book, at least for the first draft. So it's just taking a long time. Also writing a mystery. I've never done it, so that's taking a long time. And I'm almost certainly not going to stick to the outline when I actually draft the first draft, because I'm not. Like I doubt that the outline will stick as close as I want it to once I actually start going, but yeah, anyway, I only got the first act done, and now it's after dinner, and I have a virtual Among Us session with friends in 45 minutes, so I'm gonna try my best to get through like Act 2. I don't know that I'll get through much more than that. Good morning, friends. It's Wednesday morning, and I just finished my outline. When I went to bed last night, I had a lot of thoughts about the book and the third act and what I could do and things that I could weave in from the beginning that I hadn't thought about, and I wrote it all down in the notes on my phone at my bedside table. And then when I woke up this morning, I did it. I put it all together, and the outline by itself is over 3,000 words and 7 pages long. So hopefully my agent likes that. It's definitely the most extensive outline I have ever written. It's Friday, and I have not felt good the last 2 days. We'll do this tomorrow. Good morning. It is Saturday the 27th. Do you need to go on a walk? I'll take you. I just finished lunch, and this morning I had a writing Skype session with one of my CPs. It was not as productive as I wanted it to be because I did not write the last 2 days because I was not feeling well, so I need to catch up today and tomorrow. But I only got 500 words done. It's okay. I need to write another like 1,500 today. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like trying to decide. First drafts are tricky, and like I was not feeling well the last couple days, and I spent longer than I anticipated getting that 7-page outline good. So I'm considering asking my agent for an extension. I'll figure it out. Hello there. It is Sunday the 28th, and I am here at my parents' place, and I just finished a pretty long writing session. It took me a while to get into it, which has just been my struggle the last like 3 days, as you guys know. But I finally pushed through my mental block, started getting words on the page, and I wrote 1,884 words today, which is great. So now my first chapter is sitting at 2,386. So it's basically halfway done, maybe a little more than halfway, depending on how long it ends up being. My chapters tend to be anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 words. But there is only one scene left of this chapter, which is pretty great. It is March 1st, Monday the 1st. That's exciting. And I'm on my lunch break, and I went into my bedroom, and Loki was like, "Let me out!" I will insert a picture of what that looked like when Loki wants to come out. He basically presses his face to the glass and is like, "Come on, Mom, let me out." So he's hanging out with me on my lunch break now. The reason I'm wearing my glasses, which I don't normally do, and they're a very old style because I don't normally wear glasses because I normally wear contacts, is because my eye is infected, which is, I think, explains why I've been so sick and groggy and just grumpy the last 4 days, is because my left eye is infected and it's not happy with me. So I have to wear my glasses until it's all better, which is fun. But anyway, I ended up emailing my agent this morning because work today is a lot, and I'm just still tired and like getting over this. So I emailed her and I just said I would get her the outline in the first chapter by Wednesday morning. So I gave myself like 2 extra days to do it because, you know, I tried last night when I got home from my parents' house to continue writing and to finish the first chapter, and it just didn't happen. I ended up going to bed early instead. So that's fine. I now have the next 2 days. I only need to write another like 1,500 words. I literally have to work through my lunch break. Other than giving you guys an update, I am working right now, and Loki is going to be here while I do my work over my lunch break. So I don't even know. Like, I'm going to try to write tonight, but it's very possible that I will not write today, and I will just have to do that 1,500 words tomorrow, which is fine. Tomorrow shouldn't be as busy as today. Yeah, Loki, my arm's getting tired. Can I move my arm now? Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to give you guys a quick update to give you that explanation of what has happened, and let you know that I extended my deadline, which is fine. My agent said she wouldn't even be able to get to it till next week, so the deadline was really for me, not for her, but I wanted to give her a heads up that as to why it's not in her inbox this morning. I'm not that worried about it. But I do want to try to finish it to get this video out this Wednesday because I have a really fun video planned for next week. So that's the things that go on in my head. Are you like stalking the camera? Loki is looking at the camera like it might be prey. That's that's what he's doing right now. What is it? What's going on with the camera? Huh? What is that? What's going on? It's not prey. He's very hungry. It is his feeding day tonight. So, yes, you will get a nice mouse today. You just gotta be patient. You don't get fed until right before bedtime. I'm gonna go back to work. Well, I'm gonna get some lunch heated up and then I'm gonna continue working. And I will update you guys later tonight if I do manage to get anything written. I did it. It's Tuesday the 2nd. And I did not write yesterday because like I expected I was exhausted from work, but I did finish today. I ended up writing 1,236 words today, so my total chapter word count is 3,622, which is a decent chapter length for a YA novel. My chapters tend to be more like 4,000 to 5,000, but this is a different type of book than my last book, so maybe this book will require more like 3,000 to 4,000 word chapters instead, or maybe this chapter will be expanded out in future drafts. Who knows? But either way, it's good. You know, I know that it's gonna need edits and we'll see what my agent thinks about it, but I think I did what I had planned to do for the first chapter and it's pretty decent. I'm definitely gonna reread it one more time before sending it off, just to, you know, polish it up just a little bit, and that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. Hopefully I will have more vlogging of this first draft once the proposal in the first chapter gets approved by my agent, or maybe she'll have reservations and I'll end up going with a different YA fantasy idea, but she's heard the pitch for this idea before, so I think she'll like it. We'll see. I'm excited about it. I did a lot of research and I'm pretty jazzed about getting to write a murder mystery with alchemy set in 16th century Paris. So yeah, hopefully she agrees that it's a fun idea. Anyway, as always, I have links in my description to causes that need your support. I would really appreciate you giving them your support. You can also support my channel by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, etc. And I look forward to chatting with y'all in the comments.